Yo, yo. I think it's working. I think it's working. What's up? What's up? I don't know if anybody's gonna come around other than myself. But if you do stop in, appreciate you. I need to plug my headphones in. Okay. Alright, what is up? What is up? I am just gonna be poking around with this thing. I just want to record some footage of it, actually go and talk about it a little bit. I don't know how much I'm going to be able to talk by myself to myself, but I guess I've never really had a problem with that in the past. So, hey, listen, you tune into this somewhere down the road, I appreciate you stopping by and checking it out. This is a project I've been working on for a long time. So I'm actually starting to get some real traction on it now. I've been kind of poking around on it for the last 6 months or so. So I got some videos. I think the last time I was on streaming, I actually was talking about how I wanted to make this thing have an infinite level and all this stuff, but I was really struggling to see if I can get anywhere at all. I had to really think about it. You can't like think and talk at the same time. I had to really think about it, and I pulled it off. I figured it out. And I'm still in prototyping, but I think it's good enough now that I'll show it off a little bit. So, I don't know. I'm gonna try to work on something. Nobody comes around. I have to make sure I get my chats right here too. Just in case somebody does pop around, I will chat with you. That is what I hope, but if not, then I'll also try to be somewhat entertaining or educational in some kind of way, I suppose. I mean, if you talk an idea out to yourself, when you say the words of whatever the problem is, somehow it's easier to figure it out. Something about like the process of your brain articulating an issue somehow like aids in the overcoming of it, or the solving of it. Not sure why that is, but I have like learned that, and I talk to myself a lot because of it. Right, so I guess I'll just jump right into it. Like one of the things I really need to do with this is actually create a like exe version of it and actually just try to see where I am with that. I don't have any sound in this. I don't have any intro screens or anything. I mean, like it's always like one tech thing after another tech thing. I get it just far enough that I know I can do it, and then I'm like, I'll polish it later. I got something else to work on, and then, you know, like 8 years later, you're like, what was I even doing with this thing? You know, I took a couple years where I just gave up on it, but I mean, don't throw anything away, I suppose. I've been having a blast like playing around with it again. Alright, so check this out. This is the beginning of my journey into generating infinite worlds. Alright, don't ignore this right here. That's an artifact. It's like an Easter egg. The original game was like not generating levels at all. It was like multiple scenes where I was putting stuff into them, and then now everything is just one scene for it all. It's probably not the right way to do it, but whatever. Just do what works for you, I suppose. All right, so you see it actually loading stuff up quickly. It's not really stuttering or anything. I'm like spawning monsters in, but you can see over here the monsters are not despawning, saving in the levels or anything like that. It's only like a few lines of code to get there, but I haven't circled back to that yet. So I might have, somebody watching this might have seen an earlier version of this where it was really chuggy. I didn't really like specifically set out to fix that. I just was trying to implement like one particular thing in one particular spot with the level generator, and I was like, I have to go back and change this thing. And when I was changing that, I realized, oh, I'm calling this thing like 3-4 times in a row. So I just found the spot where that was happening and commented it out. And then it's so crazy, but it's like everything started working so much faster instantly. I knew it was going to be like, once I looked into it, it's going to be something I can do pretty easy. So I'm generating all these tiles based off Perlin noises. Like all of the tutorials you try to go look up, like, oh, how do you generate an infinite world in a game? Like, how do I technically do this? Like, how do I set about this? And all of the beginner videos are just gonna be like, oh, use Perlin noise. But then like the idea of how to implement that is not really gonna entirely make sense to you. It's not gonna be helpful, really. Like, yeah, use Perlin noise. Well, I know how to get the Perlin noise to give me a value based on a coordinate, sure. But how does that translate into, like, how do you generate infinite world? And there's so many pieces that go together to make that a thing. Of course, my game already was generating levels, and I wanted to like kind of maintain the foundation of everything that I had built. So I like modified my code to get it there. And right now I'm just modifying all the pieces so they fit back in. Like most recently, like over the last few days, I've been working on getting the mobs spawned back in and having their AI work again. And it's still as jank as it was originally, which I love a little bit. It's endearing to me, but do have a bug with my pathfinding for some reason. And I think this might have been going on. When I quit, because this is some of the last things I was working on is pathfinding and stuff. But yeah, they just get to a place where they, for some reason, just jump like 1 or 2 chunks away and like directly on top of something and start attacking it. So I know I understand how it's probably happening, but where the pathfinding is that's generating the actions to make that happen is evading me. So maybe I'll dig into that tonight. Yeah, I'd like to wrap that up because I do have several pathfinding functions that I updated them incorrectly. I was grinding through like 50 errors or something, and I was just watching a movie while I was doing it, and then I kind of got into like I got like a little relaxed, I should say. But anyway, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. I really did lose my train of thought, so I don't even remember what I was talking about. It's kind of funny how that happens. So yeah, I was working on the pathfinding. I was grinding through all the errors, and I thought that the solution was one thing, and I started down that road, and then I realized, oh, I did that wrong. This is the right way. And I circled back to implement the new stuff in the old places and then make sure they all kind of line up. And this is so the pathfinding works across all the chunks, like it doesn't. The pathfinding information that's used like under the hood is, did you see that? Did I just teleport? I love how janky this is. So like what's actually going on here, so it's so simple. It's so simple. So I would like to, there's two things that I kind of want to attempt tonight. I'm going to get started here in a minute doing them. The first one is I want to add like a machine or something to that starting base. Just something I can click on and it has some sort of interface so I can kind of make sure that I have that down. And I guess the pathfinding, why these guys teleport. Although I feel like I can look at that another day. The pathfinding stuff is so dense. It's really not fun to work on. But nothing's really fun when you're doing work, right? So let me talk a little bit more about this level generator. So what you're seeing here is just a prototype, completely prototype. This is not a representation of what the game is going to be like at all. I made some new tile graphics to kind of spice things up a little bit, and then I programmed like the generation of the tiles. It's based on the neighbors and whatever the valid tile is for fitting in that spot. So we got like the corners and stuff. You can kind of see it working in like the bigger area over here or there. Like this area down here, you can kind of see that when you're looking around the edge, and also you can see the chunk size here because I have a little bug in it. Little bug that I have to work on. But you can see that it knows the edge of the floor and it picks the right tile for this subset. This subset has its own. And so what's actually going on here is my Perlin noise is picking the subset, as well as I have 3 different points that I'm pulling from. In areas when the value is over a certain amount, then I change to only one thing, and that's how you get these like lakes of whatever. And of course, when I start the game, I'll restart it here. When I start the game, I draw like a fabricated set of rooms onto the map with my old map code. And so all my functions for generating like levels with hallways and different types of dungeons and stuff will still work. It still works. And I have a screenshot somewhere of an early version of the chunk code where instead of like reading from Perlin noise and doing any of that crap, I was still drawing just rooms into the chunks. So I just generated the level like for every chunk, and it actually worked a little bit. It was pretty interesting, but that I'm not quite sure how, like, what my end approach is going to be for actually randomly generating all the way for infinity. But I have Minecraft in mind a lot. So when you look into the level generating for that, for Minecraft, I mean, it's like all of these different things are going on. And I think it generates actually like a pixel map and calls a bunch of like, I don't know what the right term is for this, but you like create a grid with different numbers in it, and then you run across all the values with like some kind of algorithm, and it's like, oh, set my neighbor over here to +1 if I am this particular value, or set these 2 neighbors over here. And then when you do that, it's like bit shifting type of thing, whatever it is. But when you do that, you can make like just like a square area turn into like a rounded area, like you're doing feathering, and like you can make some really cool chasms and all kinds of stuff that way. And so I know Minecraft's like generating a bunch of static things, and then the chunks are like kind of randomly generated from there. That's kind of what I'm trying to accomplish with mine. So the way that the data is stored, like the way that the level loads up, one chunk at a time. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, like how you're supposed to also slip like a prefabricated template of tiles that, you know, spans across multiple chunks, and you can come into it from any direction, and you're also going to have that be done consistently with a random seed, right? And so this, when you see me launch the game and I go across this, it's Perlin noise that's also seeded with a seed, but I have the random seed hard coded in the back end so that my experience is always identical and I don't have to worry too much about like random things that I can't recreate. And so I'm going to always have that in mind developing this game. I feel like I can't talk. It's weird when you're just sitting by yourself talking to yourself and stuff. And that's why probably all the content creators out there are all a little wacko. Talk to themselves too much. Okay, so yeah, I just created this real simple, basic thing here, and I draw like a line on it to show. I wanted to make sure that it only worked in a certain radius, and I wanted to visualize it. And that's one of the things that I did not do a lot, is the making it so I could visualize stuff, which was like stupid. So if I could show, like I have the visualization down for showing off some of the pathfinding like data that is being used, but it's just A star. It's just like a variation of A star. Real basic stuff. Yeah, so I can't attack anything. I can't really do anything right now. They can attack me, but it's like the entire way that these things move around is going to be completely changed. I'm like, the core of their actions, whether they're spawned off by the code, will still be maintained, but it's like the player controller, the monster controller needs to be like redone from scratch essentially, because of like originally the game with like a predefined like level with a predefined size would generate all the monsters that are on the map and keep track of them in some kind of collection and then move them around only, you know, whatever. And like I'm probably gonna have some kind of fashion of that going on, but I don't really want to keep track of the monsters. I kind of want the objects to be smart enough to run themselves. So all I have to do is when I close a chunk down, just see what valid objects are there to go into the save file, and then save their action states out essentially. And then I can reload those objects from their like core values and their action data. And so they'll actually be able to, you know, it'll actually keep, to a certain extent, it'll keep like its memory of what it is planning to do. But, you know, if you replay the same, like depending on how much randomness is in there, if you replay the same save, like the seed's not going to go that far. The seed has to be, you know, there's some, I'm trying to make as much of it as I can based off the seed, but also like there's like practical things as well. So I'm just using Unity random for my A star algorithm is what I'm getting at. Okay, all right, what am I gonna look at though first? The two things I said was like the jumping, the way the AI works in the game, or what, you know, what I really want to do is add this, add like a machine in, upgrade the player controller is something I've been really looking forward to. And the level generator is the main thing I've been thinking about all the time. That's the core of the work I've been doing over the last several months. Okay, you can see it going pretty fast here, but each of the chunks, like, you know, it like runs itself And that's why these lines come in here, because when the graphics of the chunk get generated, if the chunk next to it, like when the tiles are generating their graphics, if it's not there or not fully generated, then it'll count it as like an invalid square or something. It'll generate this way. I already have in mind how I'm gonna approach this, but once I got it this far, I just didn't feel like digging into it any further. The way the tiles generate is separate from the level generator entirely. The level generator just makes floors, and it says what like the room type is, so like what the floor type is, and it's a floor. And I think it has a couple other values, but yeah, it's just 0 or 1. Is it a floor? Right, so I used to have a lot of like really cool things in the game program, like NPCs that talked and all kinds of stuff, but I tore it all completely out of the game a long time ago, before I put it down, because I was trying to like program the input for the game from scratch, because the stuff that was available to me at the time was not good enough for what I was trying to do. And I went down a really long rabbit hole that made me quit, because I was like reprogramming the typing of a keyboard into a freaking text box, and I was not having it. So I have fixed that. Everything is torn out back to default Unity, modern stuff. I have Unity 6. I upgraded to the latest thing, fixed it all. It's good to go now. I even got my animation fixed up, which is like forever was like laggy. And the animations on the monsters are using the same old system. So I have like a lot of things written down for what I want to attempt to do for the gameplay in the near term for this thing. But I definitely need to add items and weapons and stuff back into the game, so it's going to be like real soon. I had to program all new attack scripts, which is fine. I wanted to add effects to them anyway, so the effects, like lighting and effects, will probably go in pretty soon. I'm just going to add in a bunch of the polish features just to get them like implemented, make sure that I have them in mind while I'm doing other things. Leaving the room form where needed. And the sound, obviously, like I really needed to get on that. My experience with adding sound effects in the very early days was really annoying. So I not the adding of them, just the sounds themselves were really annoying. So yeah, I ended up just leaving it silent for now. That's all the best roguelikes have no sound anyway. I promise I'm going to have really good sounds that really mesh well with the feel of the game and contain enough information that you can actually like hear stuff and make decisions. But I'm not sure if there's going to be pausing. If I did have the game turn-based for a while. I had Fallout Classic, like 1 and 2. I had that style combat completely implemented, and a whole lot of work went into that. And ultimately, I got sick of rewriting every new game feature to have like code for combat, code for out of combat, and I ended up tearing it out. We're just like, just get rid of this. And I feel like my life is better after that. So I do just like run around and break the walls down a lot. I think I need to make sure this is a real thing. Like you have some kind of like mining down or building of tiles needs to be part of this for sure. This right here is an actual item show it. I just have to remember some work needs done. Alright, so I did upgrade the player controller here too. You have the ability to drag and drop stuff, and I think if you... Yeah, I have some work to do here. Like, it's not like fixed tiles where you could drag the item around and get it in the right tile yet. So when you put stuff in your backpack, it just goes in first in, first out type of thing. First in, last out, whatever. I don't have a lot. I didn't at the time take the time to figure that all out. I just got it working again. This took a lot of code to get this going, but the right click menu, it just did not. I didn't like the idea that I'd have to right click on stuff and pick from a menu. Everything I want in the game to be easy to control, so I might actually make the menu work with the keyboard also. I think, yeah, I'll probably do that. Yeah, I'm super excited to start adding the gameplay features. Let's I guess I'm gonna get started on that. Let me think. What would I do to do this? I probably need to build like a building class that's separate from the character class. I originally was just going to make all the objects in the game just characters, but there's... I suppose there's really going to be enough to the building, how different they are, that it can be its own thing. I'm going to copy the character class and start from that. Guess I'll put in a new folder, call this building. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go through, and I'm ready to do this now. This is what I've been working on for a little bit last few weeks, is just eliminating junk code that's in here. There's so much junk that I've created over the years, prototyping, bloat, like dead functions that are named like conspicuously and distract me when I'm trying to find stuff. It's like, this is a mistake I never knew like it could be like this, and like over the course of this many years working on something that I'm glad for the experience, because it'll inform me of mistakes I might make in my career. Well, by the way, I accepted a new job. I'm gonna be back to programming. I'm super duper hype. My first professional programming job in a little while. Like, I'm doing report writing, so I'm doing SQL code and stuff. Don't get me wrong, I wrote some code at work, but like, this will be an actual coding job that's meant to be a coding job. It's going to be data analytic. It's going to be BI, like big data analytics stuff, report writing for sure. But I don't know. I think this company might have made all the reports with custom code and are supporting that with developers, and I think that's what I'm about to get into, but we'll just have to see about that. I don't actually know that for sure. I haven't started yet. I'm super excited though. I don't care what it is. I'll be good at it, I promise. All right, what am I doing? I need this to be extended mono behavior. I'm gonna have to. I forgot about this. I'm gonna have to review that class. Actually, I'll do that. I'll do that right now. Actually, I don't know. I don't remember it's in there even. What? I copied. I literally copied from something else that implemented this. What are you saying I don't have? Oh, because it made its own enum. Okay. Duh. So this is actually needs to be a character species. Maybe this shouldn't be implemented in here like that. Oh, it's just the function get species, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. We can just make that not implemented. You're checking for the species of a building, and then you got problems. Okay. I need to circle back and go through every single file, because I have like hidden classes like stuck inside of here. And, you know, obviously I like this. That's fine to me. Character.species. The species is defined inside of the character class, and this is actually an enumerator anyway, but or enum or whatever you want to call it. Thing is, some of the other stuff should have its own files, and I have a lot of that. I've definitely been sloppy. This is what I'm looking for. Just throw some dead function in here. I got a lot to clean out here. So I have a building. The building is gonna have like a size, right? I'm just contemplating if I should tie it into the tiles or if it should be not tied into the tiles. I mean, obviously, positionally, it's going to use tiles. It's going to use that for its width, like all of its measurements and stuff. But should I actually tie it in with the tiles or not? I don't think I should. I don't see any reason to. I'm just thinking it over. Okay. I think I had a good think on that. It'll have an inventory, but it doesn't have these slots. I'm going to comment them out though, because maybe it will have some kind of slots like that. I think a lot of this stuff is gonna... But I do want to maintain some semblance of an idea here. Definitely not going to have a type. Can a building be non-solid? You know, I'll say it probably can. Let's make them walk through it first. I'm still going to implement it, so it's going to be solid at very first, I suppose. Public. We'll have a face. Yeah, it's definitely gonna have a facing. What's up, Karlik? Yeah, raw code is the economy, bro. It says the code economy. The ones and zeros are gonna win in the end. I mean, all of our money is stored with code anyway. So, you think about it. You gotta trust the robots. We trust them with everything. Appreciate you dropping in, man. I think I got everything set up correctly. Oh, no sweat, dude. No sweat. No, I do appreciate you dropping by. Just rambling to myself, showing the very basic functionality in the game just a little bit ago. But now I am adding a building into the starter base. That's one of the main gameplay functions that I've been tasking myself to get done over the next couple months is get some structures that have functions that like interactivity and usability, and then start to put in some of the gameplay elements that are tied to that in some way, which is all going to be like resource collection and resource management and stuff for now. This is interesting though. So when I'm creating this building thing, I copied the character class, which is the object that describes like everything about the player and all the monsters and everything, like their inventories and stuff. And I'm just whittling out all the non-building like features that are in there. I think I'm actually going to have to keep this active abilities. I was just debating this in my head, like, the abilities are player abilities, but I'm gonna want a structure that like shoots lightning bolts at you. So anything that can be a weapon or an ability could be, expressed through a building. I should probably leave this in here. I don't know why, I don't know what made me just dash the current facing in the midst of all this other stuff, but I suppose it happened over time. Is grabbable. I think that's actually, yeah, that's virtual. It's required. Is grabbable is for my beautiful grappling hook. Well, you know what? I showed you I could pick items up, but I never showed you me using the item, which is actually, what did I break? What am I doing? What am I doing wrong? Sometimes you don't look at that. Don't look at that. Oh my goodness. So I got this. That's funny. Okay, this is gonna have to just comment this out. So I might actually have to make building abilities separate. I have to look at that because at least that one function looked like it only took a character class. Move all references. So I have to like move some of these implementation functions out of here. So there's going to be like a building type I need. And I guess we'll do levels, yeah. There's also going to be like hit points, right? It's going to have health. But I'll also have like a build status. I'm going to say like build. What did I break? Yeah. Build. I'm trying to think of the right term for this, but like build progress. There we go. Build progress can be used when you're actually like building something to change the graphics, essentially. So yeah, we'll have different stages of the buildings. Like when they take damage, they're going to be damaged and have a damage graphic, but also when they're building up, they'll have different graphics. And maybe they won't have a variation like of those two things together. Like maybe when they're building, they don't show how damaged they are also, but maybe they will. We'll see. You know, as soothing as this sax is, I'm not a big fan. The song's getting a skip. I've had too much 90s porn music for my liking tonight. Let's see. Okay, well, it's good to see that my chat windows are working here. I was a little nervous, but I wouldn't remember how to stream, but I got it all set up correctly, I believe. Need that. Well, I guess buildings could be on different teams. I'm gonna have to upgrade the team stuff at some point here. That's like the faction. So it's so basic. It's just a number in there. But that is the thing that is used to discern if it's a Pokemon or a robot, and if they're going to kill each other. And the reason I have species is because I'm going to do like biological versus robotic, and even amongst the robots there'll be different types, so they'll drop different resources essentially. It's gonna have all its own building things. We'll have different resistances for everything, I suppose. Yeah, one of the main reasons I wanted to base it off the character class is because I knew I'm gonna have to create an interface. It's gonna be the like the damage interface. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to create some interfaces because it's gonna be too hard to manage having like a whole bunch of code that all uses like the same values with the same names and stuff, but they're not like interlaced in some way or enforced in some way. So the interface is really nice for enforcing everything to like fall into the thing. I mean, it also provides you a way to, you know, express the objects as the interfaces and make having like an array or an array list or whatever you want to call it in .NET, like a var array. Having that be handled with a strict type is nice. Which is like a lot of Greek. If you're a programmer out there, I know some programmer somewhere would appreciate that. Yeah, so I'm gonna need the damage interface is also going to have health, and I guess we'll just have to have like one of the resistances be immune to all damage. Yeah, it's gonna be like the God mode setting. Alright, I'll do this later. I'll just leave some of these values in here for now. I'll do that in my downtime. I want to actually get this, but before I get off stream tonight, I want to have a building, a rendering in the freaking game. That would be nice. I'm just a pro gamer, not a pro gamer. Dude, so many times I see the word pro gamer and I think that it said programmer. It happens to me all the time, actually. I mean, I do read gaming news. I'm such a nerd. The biggest nerd. Looks like my stream quality, like as far as upload speed, has been pretty decent. I'm getting full, no drop frames or anything. I want to say it's been like 6 months or more since I streamed last time. Yeah, when I actually get somewhere with this game here in the next few weeks, I mean, it's all come together now. Like, I've got this huge chunk down, like the rest is just gonna fly. So, expecting in the next few weeks I'll have a nice update. I'll pop back on for a stream for that. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave all that junk code in there. Just make sure there's no errors. I have 61 errors. 61 errors. It says character.species. So I just have to grind these out real quick. It's just what you gotta do. Oh, this needs to have some kind of return on it. Can I just do a throw? Not implemented? Can I throw that? Oh, it works. I love it. We're just gonna do that for like all this stuff. Attack if possible. I love that. Yep. Makes some sense there. Can't do this. I promised myself literally just a couple nights ago I would stop just commenting and leaving code in there, but I can't get rid of this. I need it there. I know it's in the character and I could just go read it, but that's junked up too, you know. I'll clean them both up later. Do it later. No, the future me is gonna hate past me. There's so much garbage in some of these sections where I worked on them a lot back in the day. I just kept commenting and leaving this stuff because I was changing it so much, and I just kept wanting to know what it was before. And then I abandoned it and just left it because I wasn't looking at it for, you know, so much stuff to work on in here. I left some funny things in here, but I also had a bunch of comments in here where I wrote like a ton of stuff, and I was reading it multiple years later, and I was like, oh my god, what the hell was I thinking writing that? Made me cringe. I don't have any slots to equip stuff to, so player controller on a building. Interesting idea. One of the things that I did in this was I made it so the player character in the game is separate from the player control completely. The player controller is like the hat in Mario. It just pushes around whatever it's attached to, and it displays in the heads-up display all the values of whatever it's attached to. So I did it that way because I wanted to be able to control the robots. Like, I want that to be one of the gameplay elements, is hacking or like finding broken down robots and like reviving them and utilizing them for whatever. Like, you might have to get a robot to destroy a wall in the game or something. Like, that's like, there's not going to be really a lot of use when you're floating around in space trying to sledgehammer something. You're just going to fly away. So yeah, like, I don't have the space flight implemented in a way that it looks nice to show off, but I do have the game knows when you're in space and you see the red. You see the red, that's me taking damage while I'm off the ground tiles. And it uses different move code, but it's not really feeling like space at the moment. What am I doing? I have 7 arrows left. Let's get them. Let's get them. Just comment. So the very first thing I need to figure out is, first off, I need to get some art for this building, and I need to figure out how to set the art for it in the code here. So build it. Build successfully. Good to go. Alright, so I'm really gonna be annoyed when I have to go chop all this stuff out for real, because there is a lot in here. I picked, of all the classes I could have picked, this was probably not the best way to approach this. Okay, so graphics. Let's figure out the graphics. Probably it's called graphics. It's not called graphics. It's probably called sprite then. Really? There's no references to sprite in here. Oh. Yo, what's up, Forever Skill? How you been out there? I've been thinking about you the other day, actually. It's good that you dropped by, man. Appreciate seeing you. Hope you've been on the grind with the music and stuff still. I hate to admit I haven't really done anything since I used to stream it. I want to say it's been like a year now. I haven't really I mean, there have been like a couple days, but not really. Graphics. Right. Yo, I got a follow from Kyle. What's up, Kyle? Appreciate that follow. Kyle. Welcome to the channel, my friend. Yeah, I feel that, man. I feel like it comes and goes, you know? But this is definitely the longest break I've taken in all the years that I was making music. It's the longest break I've ever taken. And I'm honestly, like, I just, all my creative energy is going into this project. I really want to finish it. Yo, what's up? I'd do a dance for you, man, but I'm not a good dancer. I gotta admit that. Gotta be honest with yourself, you know, where your strengths and weaknesses are and all that. But, hey, welcome. It's good to see you, man. All right, what were we looking at? Graphics. I want to see, how is the graphics set? I'm going to have to look at the monster manual, because this creates a character and sets its graphics. So, let's search in here. Oh, I got another follow. What's up, Aaron? Appreciate you. Another Twitch. Light mode at night. Light mode at night. Cardinal Sin. Yeah, I know. You know, a lot of people use the dark mode for Visual Studio, but I don't know. I've always used this color scheme. I prefer this one. Even when I was like staring at CRT monitors in the 90s, I still had white backgrounds. You know, I like to do Notepad. I used to program in Notepad with that nice white background, you know, real big letters. It's good times. Light mode. Gotcha. Yeah, I hate changing settings. And also one thing I like is just consistent like look, because then you don't have to think about it. You know exactly where to go for stuff. So just kind of stuck with it. I mean, I think, okay, so I do have to say, Visual Studio Code, when it installed itself, it set itself up as what is this? I didn't know it showed images. That just blew my mind right now. Anyway, like, it opens up and it shows you or this is the default scheme. What am I talking about? This is the default scheme for Visual Studio Code, but I just was too lazy to change it, I suppose. At work, I changed it to this color scheme just because I like the way it looks. I like the color, I like the white, I like the light blues. I don't know. I'm like, maybe I'm a nerd or something. I could be. But Anyway, welcome, Aaron. It's nice to meet you. I haven't really been streaming a lot. I just popped on stream tonight to show some of the stuff in this game that I'm working on, which I was doing a little bit ago, and now I'm just kind of poking around in the code trying to create a building in the game. That's what I'm trying to implement tonight. And so I'm currently at this very moment looking for how I set the art for the monsters in this game. So I'm gonna utilize this simple method. Oh, that's right. All right, so I have to add something in Unity and then hook it up with some code. That's right. Yeah, you just want to make a video, and the game's gonna be a while before it gets that far. But I mean, I've been working on it for so long that it should be further along. I mean, I'm like 3 months. I have like 3 months of a good developer's progress that's taken me years and years and years to come up with. So, but it's been fun. I mean, that's what it's all for, is I'm just doing it for myself. One day gonna achieve the goal of making a game, which is what led me to programming in the first place. Yeah, we gotta eat. So never really worked for a video game company. It wasn't in the cards for me. I didn't make the sacrifices I need to accomplish that dream. Well, I did have that. That's true, but I actually started this project after that. I started this particular project after that. The biggest roadblock of my life, and yeah. Well, one of the cool things is with this project, I've copied it and like pared it down and made some other cool projects. I did like a slot machine program and a couple other little tech demo things. So I mean, at least I have something that I can use that way. 'Cause I got a lot of like tech and core functionality, just not a ton in the way of gameplay at the moment. Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm not trying to make money at it. Although, obviously, anytime you put like a lot of work into something, you want to try to find a way to, get something out of it. But that's not my goal, and I do want it to be really fun. Yeah, reusability is absolutely key. And like I've thought a lot about that over like the last 20 years or so. I've been programming professionally for about 20 years now. And it's tough. It's tough because things change so fast, but it's also at a slow enough pace that you could get some really solid stuff whipped together over the course of 5 or 8 years, and then the entire industry has shifted, and so you have to be like aware of it and make sure you're keeping your just keeping that path in mind, making your way towards it while you're maintaining the pace that you need for just facilitating work. I mean, most corporate work is just fixing bugs from terrible programmers anyway. It just seems like every job everywhere I've been has been like that. But not to say that I'm not a terrible programmer. If you see some of the bugs I have in here soon, it's it's bad stuff. All right, what am I doing? I'm actually when I start talking, when I start rambling, I just like completely blank out. I'm just like automating my movements and just clicking around, not even really looking at what I'm looking at. I'm actually looking for, where did I set the image? And I need to actually just get my mainly.net. I've played around with a lot of languages, but professionally I've been doing .net mainly .net, and I actually have a really big portion of my career where I did web stuff. So I know like JavaScript, CSS, HTML, all the stuff 4, 5, CSS 2, 3, whatever. I know it all in and out. Not my biggest love, but you do stuff like that out of necessity in the corporate world a lot of times. But yeah, so my first programming language that I ever learned like in school was QBasic on DOS. And that was like, that led me down the road when I was still in school. That led me to VB, just Visual Basic before it was .NET. And so I got some playing around with VB, doing desktop applications in Windows 98 and XP. And then when I started my career, I got a Visual Basic .NET job, and then was stuck doing VB for a long time until finally I got to be the lead developer, and I was like, all right, we're switching to C# right away. We converted everything. All the projects, we just like mash conversions. It's really not that big a deal, believe it or not. Everything is accomplishable when you can quantify it. If you can say, oh, I have this many things need to be done to get to the end point, then you can like really start to bite off the pieces. Gotcha. So you're switching away from .NET. Are they like desktop applications, or are you trying to go from like desktop interfacing to more of like cloud-like solutions? So you're maybe doing something where you're having like micro applications and crap like that, APIs and all that stuff. I feel like I'm just about to start a new job myself, and I feel like that's kind of what I'm going to be doing in my new job, is taking something that's been built a while ago and bringing it like up to date, just making sure it's prepared. Yeah. Yep. It makes absolute sense. Especially if you work with any kind of volume of traffic, then you need to be able to have like microservices for sure. You're going to have to containerize and even localize. If you're like a global industry, you're going to need to have good responsive times in like other countries. Then you absolutely need to design your software that way. It's pretty cool, man. I always really loved programming, and although video game making is like what led me to it, I just like it. I like solving the math problems. I like ordering lists and stuff like that. I just like typing the code out. I like figuring things out. I love when there's a bug, especially when it's someone else's bug and you don't have to take the blame, and then you're trying to figure it out and you find it and then you figure it out. Like the feeling of that is exhilarating for me. I get really excited and passionate about it. And like, so when you work in a place where there aren't a lot of other people who are passionate about it, it's a tough experience. It is. So, like, I think about teams a lot. I mean, it's just because I've been working a long time, you just get to a place where you're like, okay, like, I want to have my own team and cultivate my own team. Like, what is it that makes a team, like a good team, function? Is it just knowledge, or is there more to it? And I know for sure that there's more to it than just the knowledge. It's, what am I doing? I just deleted some comments. I need to stop rambling. Like, don't talk about this dumb stuff. Get back to programming. Do your job, sir. All right, so I need to add building graphics, so let's do that. This is my like core, like global state for the game. Like all of the, originally when I was sending stuff around between different scenes, this was more important, but now it's just kind of like the class where I store all my static references to everything. And when I instantiate the game, essentially when it first starts up, this is where all the constructor for the whole game is essentially. Why am is it tile graphics? Because I think, yeah, that's the wrong thing. It's just sprites. Graphics. Monster sprites equals sprites. Here's where I'm loading them. Where is this defined at? Oh, my eyes just kept going over it. Oh, building sprites. It's a really original name. Yeah, nobody's on here over at YouTube, I think. I want to find out if my Streamlabs actually works for YouTube one of these days. All right, we got that. And if I look for this, I'll go back to where I was. I will do it below. New sprite. Yo, what's up, Novice EDM? How you doing, my friend? I don't know if the not Carlac, Forever Skeleton. Forever Skeleton is probably still lurking out there if he's not, but whatever. It was really good to see you, Forever Skeleton. And Novice EDM, it's good to see you as well. Just when I said nobody's on YouTube, there's Novice popping in with the hey, man. Yeah, I'm still out here kicking it, man. I need to get off my ass and make some music stuff. I haven't touched music in so long. It's like over a year, probably. I have done a tiny bit, but nothing new. Just, I actually have some undone projects I want to finish one day. But I've had enough of a break. You know, sometimes you have to take a long break from something that I want to come back and do completely new, fresh stuff. Get like some all new sounds and stuff, and like get that experience again because I just love it so much. We're gonna make a new sprite. We're only gonna do 10. That's for abilities. Really only need 1. So let's set the first one. And I'm gonna name it in here and then make sure I just named the file correct. What should my first building be? Somebody says something before I look it up. All right, it was good seeing you, Karlak. You have a good one, man. Appreciate you stopping by, dude. Building sprite 0. Yeah, I don't know what my first building should be. What comes up when you search first building? Please just call me Nas. Yeah, man. Yeah, man, for sure. Like, dude, I actually understand that too. I moved out of a place and then didn't really have a place of my own for like a year or so. And I was just floating around places, and you just really don't have the capability to do anything. You know, I had FL Studio on my laptop, and I actually like tried to play around with stuff here and there, but I just didn't really have I could never really get myself in the mind space where, you know, like I really was enjoying it. And like that's what making music always was about, just having fun for me. I just really enjoyed it. And when you're not feeling joy, or like for me, when I'm not feeling the joy of it, then just put it down. You know, there's no drama or anything like that. Just something I really enjoyed, and got distracted by a message there. I am looking for a graphic. I have a graphic, but I need to turn it into a graphic for the game. Just call me novice. I'll call you whatever I want, son. No, man, it's really cool that you dropped by. I was actually secretly hoping when I got on stream tonight that a few people from back in the day that used to come around and hang out and chat and share songs and stuff would roll through and I could say hi. Haven't seen a bunch of people in a long time. It was cool seeing Forever Skill earlier. The most elusive. Most elusive. It is cool. I actually follow a few people who used to send songs in, and they're still out there grinding, still posting. Change their names, but channel's still the same. Okay, I'm not very good at image editing, but let's give this a quick touch up here so it fits. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Hey, no, that's the best way to live your life, actually, is just, you know, you don't have to be hard on people. And, you also can say hard things sometimes, be real, you know, because, people are seeking that, especially when you're sharing something with somebody to get their, like, impressions of it. Like, particularly art and stuff, right? Like things that are based on impression. Like, they don't want you to be like, oh yeah, it was pretty cool, and then that's all you say. They want a little bit more than that. And that, at least when I say they, I actually really talk about myself, because that's how I've always kind of felt. Is like, whenever somebody's like, oh yeah, that was pretty good, and then it's like kind of cool, you know, like a cool, like cold kind of feeling, then you're like, okay, they didn't really like it, but they're being nice because they're my friend. That's not what I'm looking for. So then, like, if that happens to you for like 20 years, eventually, like, yeah, I'm just never going to get better at this, so I better give up. I better give up. Why did I put this on white background? Let's get this. I bet you there's some kind of like tool that I have downloaded for this that would clean up the edge a lot faster or easier. All I want to do is just cut out this little section right here. We're gonna do it the like real bad, real terrible way. Doesn't need to be good because this is not a real graphic. It's gonna stay. It's just a placeholder. I like the columns though. Always been a fan of the column art, like building architectural style. Let's shrink this a little bit though. It's kind of big. Let's see. I'm gonna make that like 6 tiles wide. Maybe 8 tiles wide, 4 tiles high. I think it'd be 8 times 6. Make it twice that, so 960. There we go. No, I just did the width, didn't I? Yeah, 960 is fine. Never give up. I love that. That was actually free to watch on YouTube not too long ago. I just watched that the other day. Yo, what's up, Gargusa? It has been a while. Appreciate you stopping by. It's good to see you. I hope you've been good out there. Yeah. What do I always think when I'm thinking about giving up? I don't actually... You know what's crazy is usually when I think about quitting something, it's so far along, like I should have quit a long time ago. And at that point, it's like, it's a real serious thought. It's not like I just feel like quitting something, you know, like it's usually a real serious thought. I guess I don't really give any thought at all to things that I feel like are unimportant. Like, it doesn't matter. What's up, Laugh Out Loud guy? I have one of my chats here hidden. This guy just came in to say lol. What was I even saying? Oh yeah, I was talking about quitting. Quitting. Usually it's like a real thing, and I'm like, okay, gotta decide if I'm gonna stick this out or if I'm gonna actually quit this. Just been times in my life where I stuck things out where I shouldn't have, and I didn't like, it didn't benefit me in any way. I actually I just take these people out here. Actually, just really wish that I did not continue those things, and that's life. That's the game of life right there. Okay, this is somewhat good enough. Save this somewhere. Art. Make a new folder called buildings. I'm gonna have to type this in the code too. So buildings. PNG. And call it proto. Why not? I'm gonna have to draw it out into the scene to actually set the size for it, I think. Whoa. Oh. Oh man. It's been a while since I added anything. I didn't realize it got so annoying. Alright. Buildings. Something I have to do here. I have to set the pixel per unit to 64. Right. Is there anything I need to do? I don't think so. Discard. I don't think I need to do anything in there. I think it's just good to go now. Just good to go now. So it's going to be building sprite 0 is art / buildings / proto 0. I think that's going to work. And then when I spawn this thing, I'm gonna, no, I'll just do it in here somewhere. Yeah, so this is slightly annoying actually. You know, I copied the character thing, but really characters are generated from a prefab. I'm gonna have to change this down the road, but I guess we'll just do it this way. We'll create a new game object for it and add this script to it. I'm gonna do sprite render, and I'll make it spawn in later. I don't really want to hold a reference to it. There's no reason to. I just need to check for it in the awake script. Is there even an awake script in here? I don't think there actually even is. There is. It does very little in here. Yeah, I guess I'll need that. Yeah. Sprite render SR equals this dot get component. And we're gonna set the sprite equal to that. No. How dare you? It's game state dot. Came on Twitch, but changed to YouTube. Yo, what's up, Eliana? Sorry that I missed you guys' chats. I got distracted by the code there. It's good to see you, Ellie. Appreciate you stopping by. Man, a bunch of people stopped it. I knew that Monday night would be the best night to do this stream. It's good to see everybody that stopped by. I appreciate you. Hope you've been good out there, living your life as you pleased. I just remembered just this. Yo, what's up, Steve? This is the new Foundry roll hack. No, dude, but you want to see something funny since you said that? I was showing off something in this other program I have, VS Code, and it just so happens I had a module for whatchamacallit, Foundry open in here. This is actually a game system called Castle and Crusades. This is the code that makes the game system work. I was looking through it because scrutinizing this thing is so buggy. It was really annoying me. I was trying to play in another group and I was like, I have to see this. And so I was able to find it and figure out how this stuff works. I think I really truly get Foundry now. Could make some changes or do something. If I ever got the Steam or the, the Fire to do something like that. This is my favorite kind of file right here. It's all just slammed together. All right, let me get back to the task here, though. I don't know if Ellie hung around long enough to hear the hey, but hey, appreciate you. It's good seeing you. I hope you're good out there. And you too, Guru Gasu. Man, it's so hard. 99? Do people just call you 99? It's so hard to so hard for me to pronounce that. I feel so bad about it. It's really, but all right. So we got the sprite like hard coded to set to that, and actually, I'm just gonna make this function GG99. I'm gonna GG like it's 1999. I need to add. It's so much harder to actually get anything done when you're like talking. It goes slow, but we're gonna get there. I promised myself I would do something. I have to just find a spot to draw this in. Get this set up real quick. Yeah, I know I know. Actually, it's like every time. I'm sorry. I'm like a broken record, you know? I'm like a broken record. My bad. I wish I could remember. Maybe if it wasn't like 6 months in between each of my streams, then I'd hang on to it a little bit better. I'm drawing this building in. We're getting there. Hierarchy. Made a new game object, right? It's perfect. Call this building 1. We're gonna add the building script. And we need to add a sprite renderer to it. And I guess I'm gonna actually need a collision on it too, so box collider for now. And I think I probably need a rect transform maybe. Do I have to add that? I want to set. Why isn't this showing up? Alright, I'm gonna just default the image real quick because I'd like to see it. It's probably because I have no sprite assigned to it that it's not doing what I'm expecting it to do. What would I call it? Proto? Wow, look how big. Oh, okay, it's not on the right sorting layer. That's right. We can go with enemy. I might actually Oh, I don't think I made a sorting ladder for buildings ever. I'm actually surprised about that. Well, I guess we'll do layer 9. I'll go with pre-enemy for it. What's up, in-house? Oh, yeah. This a bot out there? I don't want to remove the space from it. Can I moderate from inside of this window? That's crazy, Steve. Yeah, you know, earlier today I was actually like, you know, it's Monday. I mean, it's a good day as any to get on and do this. And I've been wanting to, for the last few days, get on to just record a little bit of gameplay and talk about this project a little bit. And I mean, I really am getting some steam on it. Yeah. Lots of good stuff, I hope. But I know that that's not how life really is. Oh, awesome. Very cool, very cool. I hope some great things. What am I looking for here? Okay, I know what I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out how to moderate my Twitch. I guess I'm gonna have to. Is there like a moderation mode or something? This is the part where I fail every time. All right, Steve, have a good night, man. Sleep tight, my friend. This is killing me. This is actually killing me that I can't figure out how to freaking moderate this message. Son of a gun. I'm so garbage at this. I've never done it before, really. So like I see how I can, like, you know, ban the user, but I don't see for the specific message how to like do anything like remove it or whatever. Okay. Like I figured, yeah, it deletes the message when you ban them, but is that the only way? You're not able to like individually moderate a particular message? Like, oh, is it timeout? Do you have to time them out to do that? I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to take like a basic like moderator course or something like that at one point. Like whatever they send the, you know, the community people, wherever they like send to people as like a canned, like, oh, you want to be a mod on our channel? This is how to do it. Watch this video. We're gonna test you. I need that. I need to be tested. Okay, so I got this thing out, but it's like way too big. And this is width 1. Oh, it's because I set the pixels to 64 per unit. Oh, right. Oh, right. Okay, so 960 divided by 8. That's what I need to do. 960 divided by 8. 120. So I need to set it to 120. I need to do that here. There we go. So how tall did it end up being? I was curious on that. So it actually sticks into these others a little bit. That's fine. Okay, so I got that image, but the box collider isn't like showing. I don't understand this object that well. Oh, it's because it was 0, 0. Okay. So what does this offset do? Is this just like... So the size is 1 by 1. Okay, and it always originates in the center. We're gonna make it 8 wide or tall. With no offset, so the object is... that looks right. Okay. Slowly but surely. Well, this should be really easy then. No, I guess I need to already do the part where I'm gonna instantiate this into the game. Just debating in my head right now. Should I make it a prefab and load it from a prefab, or should I make these things generate from code? Because I'm feeling like I'm making a mistake going down that road. I feel a little bit like that anyway. Resources, prefabs, a new folder for buildings. I just drag it in there, right? Yes, I do. So it's called building one. So I have in here some sample code, right? I'm just taking the word prefab. Oh, I'm not even in the right file. It's still in here though. Oh, we need to generate it into the level, so it's gonna go into the faction base fabricator. Which I'm gonna have to seek around a little bit to find that. Fabricate chunks. Here we go. It's actually in here. So, whoa. Okay, so this is exactly what I need to figure out. So the function that draws this, the function that actually draws this onto the map, makes the zone data, but then it gets drawn onto the map here. And there is no way. Okay. Ooh, does this work with zones still? So the zone. Oh. Actually, I need to put a to-do in here. Like, eventually I'm going to go through and like solve all the to-dos. I need to make this only use one sound. Yeah, I think that's probably going to be for the best. I don't see... I can't really think of any real practical reason to have this work with multiple zones. Because I can just call it twice, you know, for 2 different zones. The reason it was like that is because the zones made up the chunks. The chunk was just... Where did I learn to code? That's a good question. So, when I was like 12, I want to say it was like 12 or 11-ish, I played this video game. It was MMO, like a way old school MMO, Zelda style. So it looked like Zelda, but it's called Grail Online. And that game had a level editor, and you could edit the NPCs, and the NPCs were just code. It was just like a little code editor thing. And I figured out that I could change some of the code in there to make the weapon explosions like do more stuff. And I got to playing around with that, like making the NPCs drop like millions of rupees and stuff like that. So that's where I like started. And I poking around with that over like the course of a school year. I think I was in 8th grade. I actually got pretty decent at just like figuring it all out just from trial and error. And I signed up for a computer programming course in high school as an elective. And that summer, because I was like super hype about it, because it was billed to me as a class where you just made a game, like you just worked on games. And I wanted to make games, obviously. That's like the main thing that's got me to programming. So over the summer, I started learning about code and stuff. My dad got me like one of those how to code for dummies, like the old yellow books from the 90s. And then so I was like learning from that, and then I found out that you could like view the source code of a web page. And so I learned to make HTML web pages, and you could just like open that file off your computer in a web browser. And that's kind of like where I started at. And then I did 4 years of school in high school and competed on the high school team, and like just was all around a super nerd programming, and went to college for it. I did 2-year technical school, and then I started a career in it. And so I've been programming for a long time now, about 20 years professionally. But so it's been like I've always been a coder, actually. And like a little bit after that, so I was into like building computers and all that stuff a little bit after I was like starting to get good like basics in programming, and like had all the computer like IT fixing the problems and fixing your like deleting the viruses and stuff. Back then there were a lot more viruses than now, but I got pretty good at that for a few years. I want to say I was like 15, and I was fixing my friend's computer, and I was installing the drivers for a Sound Blaster Audigy 2. It was just like a legendary sound card from back in the day when there were sound cards. And the driver disc had demos on it, and my friend was like, yeah, install the demos. And one of the demos that was on there was for Fruity Loops 3. And that's how I started making music. And so the computer stuff actually led me into music also. And I just like absolutely fell in love with it. I was instantly, the moment that I had FL Studio installed, and I was clicking around with it, literally the moment, it instantly clicked with me. I just, like every single day I wanted to do it. I was always just like sitting in my room just by myself, just plucking away. Just, I don't know, lots of hopes and dreams. Nothing ever materialized for me. I'm not like the amazing editor or anything, but I really like doing it. That's why I have anything, or I have any kind of polish at all. It's just because I like doing it, you know. And I think there's like a big part of that. Like, so a lot of people go into music and they want to be rock stars and have a rock star lifestyle, and they just don't have any real talent for music. And it's probably not the right approach. Like, you know, like people who are really, really good are that way because they love doing the music. The rock star lifestyle just comes with it, you know, but they just like doing the music. You know, and certainly there are people who like that lifestyle and are led to music and who are good at it. And I'm not saying that, you know, that can't be a motivation for somebody who's an ultra talent, but it wasn't for me. I'm not an ultra talent. I just really like doing it. I just really have fun doing it. Just trying to get through this world, enjoying it. So I think that I need to add into the zone like a list of buildings. Yeah. And building is the wrong term. I'm gonna have to change this, and which sucks because I made folders called it. But I'm probably gonna change it to structure. Stupid cat. You stupid cat. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Alright, give me a second. I gotta go throw this cat into a blender real quick. He's being really naughty. He's jumped on the desk like 50 times today. I swear to God, he's getting worse and worse every day. Alright, give me one moment here. I think that's like the greatest feeling is, you know, you make this stuff and you're just really enjoying it, you know, and you're like, man, I really dig this, and then you share it with somebody and they're like, damn, this is awesome. And like especially if it takes you a long time to make a project. I mean, like even if you did something really quick, it's still cool, but when you put a lot of work into something, like a lot of work, and then at the end of it you don't get good reactions, man, that's tough. And I think it's like one of the hardest things to forge down any sort of path where you're not good and you're getting those bad reactions. You have to like become resilient to it in a certain way. If you become too resilient, you can lose focus, you know, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that's really cool. I mean, I wish you all the best and many great things to come. Feel free to share stuff. I know I'm not doing like a music stream, but feel free to drop a link. And if you're on YouTube, you can't. If you're on YouTube, you can't. You can only on Twitch. Son of a gun. Son of a gun, YouTube. I want to say I actually found like a few months ago a setting that I might be able to put in that turns off auto moderation, but when I was reading about doing it, people said don't do it. It's not worth it. And I'm assuming it's because of all the bots and stuff. Yeah. Man, I remember this one time. I share this little story. When I was a teenager, I did a fresh install of Windows XP on my computer, got everything set up, and I plugged it into the internet, which I had already connected. Oh no, I'm sorry, I did not already connect it. I plugged it into the phone jack and dialed into the internet. And after it completely went through the whole like loading into the internet thing, and I made my solid connection to my ISP, the moment that it connected, pop-ups came on my computer and viruses got installed. And that's what the old internet used to be like. It was good times. That it was the funniest thing ever. Like just literally just windows would pop up that just said messages on my computer. It's the only time that I've ever like plugged into the internet. And I think I hadn't updated XP. I was trying to get the update or whatever. I'm not exactly sure how this happened to me, but it definitely was like way before Service Pack, like even 1 probably. It was before Service Pack 1 probably. Service Pack 2 really fixed a lot of the internet exploits. It was a pretty good one. All right, well, I keep getting distracted here. I gotta go to the zone. Go to the zone. What happened to my solution explorer? Oh, I have. Okay, I see what happened here. Everything collapsed on me. How nice is that? Scripts. We're in building. It's buildings. No, I want to look at zone actually. Where would I have even put the code for that? Is it under level? It's so weird. Oh, it's under this folder. This is, I'm gonna have to reorganize these folders here. This is not really, doesn't make a lot of good sense. I also did say right at the beginning of the stream I need to review that class on non-mono behavior or extended mono behavior or whatever. I'm not sure what my purpose behind that was. So we'll just do like a list of buildings, all buildings, and then later on actually these things will just get spawned off on their own when the chunk generates. I'm going to be renaming this down the road. We'll actually just rename the thing here structure, because that's what I think I'm going to end up calling it. Oh, I guess I'll just look up, let's see. Is there an add room? Yeah. Add structure. Really doesn't need to be much more than that, right? This was a public list, wasn't it? Oh yeah. Yeah. So this, the whole purpose of all this stuff is to not have mono behavior classes in it, which this one definitely is. I'm gonna have to rethink this anyway. That's fine. Actually, just sometimes you have to get something working first, make it right second, but prove out the concept first. Get it working first. Fix it later. So I'm going to fabricate the zone. I'm going to add the building in here. Building. Man's first building. It's new. No, I can't really make it equal to a new. Oh, we're gonna. Do I still have that on my clipboard? No. So I don't. Oh, I still had it selected in this file though. How nice. Alright, so I'm actually gonna spawn a game object, snag the class out of it, and add that into the thing for right now. No, that's a terrible idea. What am I thinking? There, this needs to be rethought. Let's do this as... I'm just gonna do... We're gonna do this real nasty. But I just don't want to, like... I just don't want to get tied up with... Oh, it's because I don't have an inline there. That was really confusing me for a second. Actually happened to me the other night. I had a couple drinks and then like was missing a semicolon somewhere and I had an error message and I was staring at the sucker for like 10 minutes and I was like, what is this? Why is this? And then when I figured it out, I cut it off. I was like, I just can't right now. All right, so the dirty way is in the zone drawing code, the level generator. I'm just going to check how many buildings there are and then draw them into the chunks. Draw them into each chunk for each zone. It goes through the rooms. For each. No, actually, I just had it as a straight up int. It was called structures. Of course, I named it something else, didn't I? Okay, okay, all the tiles get done, and then we do the structures after. So then we'll go through. No, I said I was going to take this out later, but I gotta put the pattern in for now. Dot structures if 0. We'll just like hard code it to 0, 0 for now. Make it. Then it was in prefabs, buildings, proto, right? I think that's right. Okay, so we're gonna set the parent to the level. Oh no, it's gonna be gameplay manager, gameplay controller. Where the hell is this thing at? Maybe it's level manager dot level. Yeah, it is. Level manager is probably gonna need to go away. That was from back before I had an infinite world. Maybe it'll turn into the world manager. Whatever I do, I have to take the level generator and pull a lot of code out of that and fabricate new class structure for that because it's like gotten to be way more than it was supposed to be. So I dot transform. Isn't it a game object? It's not. This is though. Okay, I really shouldn't need to do much more than this because yeah, this is just the prototype. once it's drawing into the level, I'll just like hard code the positioning of it. Its top left should really. All right, I just gotta look in here for a valid spot. How does this work? Is it position then width? No, it's size then position. So I think this room is the one that we actually started in. So it's 1, 1, and then it's 12. So it's actually going to be, yeah, position 1, comma 1 inside of the room. Is that the first room we added in? Room, setup room. Where does it actually add in? So, really should just be the first. I guess it doesn't matter. I'll draw it into any. They're just the first room I find. So, back to yeah, right here. So C dot rooms dot first. I just need the location, so left. So it's gonna be C dot position dot X plus left. Plus top. And each of these is going to have an extra 1 on it. Okay. And then we'll set the local position of build this dot transform dot local position equals can I just cast it though? Are you serious? Hey, thanks for the follow, McDonald Gamer. Appreciate you. Hit you up on Discord. I feel like this is a bot. You botting me, bro? This guy's gonna try to sell me on some self-help stuff. Build this. Oh, right. I just need this to be a vector 3 end. So it will work. Yeah, I think we're there. I think this is it. So, at the parent, just grab the first room, toss it into the location of the first room. And it only does it if the structure is set to greater than 1, which should only be happening for this one, because I am setting structures to 1, right? Okay, so I need to make sure it's not defaulted to 1. So that would, yeah, we're good. No errors. No errors. I guess I can just delete that now. This doesn't draw in. I'm quitting my job. No, we got errors. Got some serious errors. Oh, it says that doesn't exist. You know, that was really weird. Oh, that's what happened. Okay. That was really... just reminded me of some stuff that goes on at my job. We have to go look at the monster manual. I had a better example. This is from commented out code. No, sorry. So I was questioning the slash. All right, let's look. My pathing is wrong here. That's probably all it is. It's resources, prefabs, buildings. Oh, it's called building 1, not proto. Proto is the name of the image. It's building 1. Well, that's what's really crazy though is it tried to call it like 1,000,000 times. Let me reconsider what I'm doing here. For each chunk it's doing this. That's not what we want. We want it to just kind of be at the end. So go through those chunks, go through those chunks. Here's the end of the function. Set chunk to finalized. Alright, I think this is good. I thought it was good before though, so no promises. Yo, I've been streaming for 2 hours. That's kind of flew by. I feel like I could. Hey, we got it. Okay, we got some other issue going on here. So the building code is being called. This is an update function. Cooldown all abilities is being called on this. Oh, because I have a. Where is this being called from? Okay, so this will shut all that down. I'm gonna have to go and look. I'm gonna have to go and review all this code in the character class. I feel like there's. I mean, obviously, like this stuff is garbage. I need to get rid of that. I didn't realize it was. I never really even looked, to be honest. I didn't realize all this junk was in here. Some of this stuff is not junk, to say. This is kind of the magic of what makes the stuff move around. Okay. So I have the building in the game, right? Technically. And the position of it... The position of it was off. I think I need to set the... Yes, I need to reverse the Y on this, actually. When I can... The... Under the hood tile locations, the Y is reversed. I liked working with it the other direction. So just whenever I convert something to a real position, I just negative it. Alright, where's that? Level generator. This right here. -1 times this. Yeah, I like how fast the stuff loads up now with the new with all the new code that I've written. What's up, Logo? Actually, here you go. Got a song here from Loga. I'm gonna guess that Loga is GG99 now. Just taking a wild guess here. I don't have the app. I have to log in. Yes, okay, I called that one. Sometimes I get things, not always. Maybe not even the majority of the time, but sometimes. Sometimes. I feel like I messed something up. Let me go back over there for that. This link. I thought I logged in. It's giving me a hard time right now. Oh, I don't have my Spotify connected to my Google, even though it's my Gmail account that I created it with. It's actually kind of annoying. Check my inbox. I'm gonna make my password. I hope it lets me use this password. Yeah, it did. Yeah, the other day I had a freaking make a password for something, and when I made the password, it did a language filter on it, and it said you're not allowed to use obscene language in your password. And I'm like, bitch, you're not supposed to be looking at my password. Why do you even care? Like, what the hell? Yeah, made me a little upset. Start listening, yeah. Of course, it doesn't send you back to where you came from. There we go. I like this pad. Okay. I implemented my first building. I mean, it seems so easy and little what I actually did here, but it turns down ever so slightly. Yeah, I made a couple songs like really fast, like in just a couple days before. It's crazy how that can just... Sometimes the stuff just comes to you. The music's just calling, you know, it just comes to you. I like this breakbeat you got going here. It's got a real underground feel to it. Did I ever turn my camera back on? I did. Hey, listen, after we finish listening to this, I think I'm gonna pop off stream. I'm gonna get some TV time in before I go to bed tonight. I will come back and stream some more as soon as I get a little bit further with this game project, I'll be wanting to stream it more and more to, I don't know, just for the off possibility that I'll get some maybe future customers coming in to check it out. It's 5 a.m. for you? What do you do? I hope you just woke up and you're not still up. That's crazy. Man, the last time I stayed up that late was a long, long time ago. It was years ago, man. It had to be like, well, it was probably like 5 years ago. I guess that's not that long ago. But I used to stay up real late, regularly, routinely, when I lived by myself, but I haven't lived by myself for a long time. FL Studio all day, all night. Yeah, I love it. You know, like my favorite FL Studio is like waking up first thing in the morning, rolling out of bed, getting some coffee, sitting down at the computer, popping open FL Studio and working on it right away first thing in the morning. This is my favorite time to work on FL Studio. Everything is quiet, outside, inside. It's just, I don't know. It's like my favorite time. Yeah, I haven't done that in like probably 10 or 12 years. It's been a like super duper long time since I've been able to do that. I mean, it's been many years since I've even had any kind of being able to get myself into the, like, knowing that I'm not going to be interrupted and all that stuff. Like, yeah, it's like part of the reason why I haven't really been doing anything is I'm just not in an environment where, you know, it's conducive to doing things. That's life. You've done that every day for the last 6 days. I love that. I love that. It kind of has like an Aphex Twin kind of feel to it with its like song structure and everything. And of course Aphex has the craziest breaking of the beats. These are some pretty solid breaks though. Yeah, maybe I have that same kind of thing going. I do have the hyper focus, but I never really considered myself to be ADHD. I'm a very focused person, but I do have the tendency to. I do have that tendency of like putting things off, procrastination. Not sure if that's ADHD or just laziness on the. Yeah, I like this like bass. It's very clean sounding. Wish I had like a sub or even the ability to play a sub. It's too late at night to do that. Yeah, I miss doing the music stream, but you know, to be honest with you, one of the things that was really grinding me down at the end of doing the stream, the music show stuff, one of the things that was really grinding me down is that a lot of people were coming by and they were sharing AI generated music and saying they made it, and then like acting like they made the stuff like completely. And like, you know, when it's somebody who's been coming around you have a certain rapport with and stuff, and you know you're pretty certain, but you don't have any real proof of anything, you want to call them out for it. It's just like that kind of like weird, like that kind of weird social thing. It just kind of really bugged at me, you know. Is what it is. But yeah, the whole like AI generated music thing, I mean, it's pretty incredible. It's pretty incredible, and it really did take some of the wind out of my sails of liking to make music, to be honest with you. It actually had a real impact. It's like, what's even the point of it, unless if you're literally doing it just for the enjoyment of the process? It makes absolute sense. But you know, if you have any hopes or dreams of making it in this world, it's like good luck when you're competing against a computer. So just ask the chess players. And that was too quick. That one felt like really quick. I'm gonna go back and play like the last 30 seconds again. Yeah, this song actually reminds me of like 90s video game music. Like some PC game from the 90s is what it reminds me of. Maybe not so much the break beat, although breaks were around back then. It's more like the sound of the pads and stuff. This next one took you 20 hours. All right, let's get it. I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Just coping. Man, it's so hard to end a song. I like that little chant sound in there. Nice. Wait, what? Like, is there singing to it or something? Is that what you're talking about? Ooh. Oh, it sounds like there's a real fat bass in there. I just don't have much bass range on these headphones. It, like, has the sound of being incredibly clean, though. Very nice. My only regret is that I listened to your other 3 songs first, and so that pad sound is I'm starting to get over it because it's like in every song. Damn, man, they get some really good breaks and stuff going on here. You doing the drops or, like, you know, the refrains and stuff all the right spots, in my opinion. I'm like, yeah, I feel like there should be a spot coming up right, and then it boom, and you hit it. I feel like right there at that very, very last spot, it could be like it just goes on for another 10 seconds of some crazy
Just sold my
break
car to
before it
Carvana.
ends.
I thought you were selling to that guy.
The guy who wanted to pay me in foreign currency? Yeah, no.
I'll play a little ad. You can pause the ads. I love it. I love it. Wow, I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out for a little while and chatting. That's been cool. It's the toughest thing when you're streaming is like having no one to chat with, because it's like you're just talking to yourself. And that was like the first 45 minutes of the stream tonight. But a lot of people stopped around and got to say hi and got to see a few cool faces. I missed Ellie when she jumped in. She jumped in and then out pretty quick. So unfortunately, Ellie was pretty cool. Helped out modding the channel and helped me set a few things up. So appreciated her stopping by. The things were a little up and down for us, so I hope everything's been well. It was good seeing you, GG99. See, I can get the names. I can get the names down sometimes, but let me get back to that Spotify real quick. Can I follow you on Spotify? Is that the thing? Yes, I can. Give you a follow on Spotify. Sorry, I'm not like if you can't tell, I don't really use Spotify. I had to change my password to get into it. All right, well, I'm gonna actually call the stream here. Again, it was great seeing everyone. I had a good time tonight. Cannot promise when I'll be back again, but hopefully it'll be pretty soon. Like maybe I'll be filming it again next Monday, but I don't want to make any promises or say anything like promise or like act like I'm gonna do something I'm not gonna do. I have no idea when I'm gonna stream again, so I am looking forward to making more progress in this project and showing some stuff. So next time I'm on, those buildings are actually going to do something. And when you attack them, they'll break and you'll get to build them as well. So I have to do a bunch of UI menus and stuff for that. So anywho, it's good to see you all. We'll catch you next time. Stay safe.